Okay, guys, we are going live here with some instruction. We're talking about main, median, mode, and that's our next section in here is stats. So we're going to use this small set of data that I've highlighted here. We're going to be finding mean, median, and mode. Mean, that is not mean like I usually am to you guys in class for not talking to me. That, and I hope you can't hear my kids yelling in the background, but if you do, you do. Mean. The mean is your average. Okay? So the average is add them all up. Add up all values. And divide by the amount of values. Okay, so in this instance we have 2, 5, 4, 3, 6, 3. Okay, so we have 2, 5, 4, 3, 6, 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add these all together. That is going to give me 23. What I'm going to do then is there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values here. I'm going to divide it by 6. That is going to give me about 3.83. So x bar, which is basically the statistical symbol for my mean, is equal to 3.83. So this guy right here, I know, get on me for using Wakanda colors, but that's okay. That's x bar. That means mean. So that is my symbol for mean. Symbol for mean. All right, next, median. I'm calling that your middle value. Is your middle value. If there are two numbers in the middle, you add and divide by 2. So the first things first, it says, so I'm just putting that in there. First things first, what you need to do is put numbers in order. So that's the first step. Then find one All right, so that's how we do this. With this data set that we have here, what I am going to do, so I have that up here, that's listed above in the mean box, I'm just going to use that, I'm not going to go back to the top. My first is 2, my next 2 are 3, I have 4, and then 5, and then 6. So what I need to do is I need to start crossing off heading towards the middle. Here, oh, I've got 2. So what happens? It says if there are 2 numbers in the middle, you add and divide by 2. So I'm going to go 3 plus 4 over 2, which is 7 over 2, which equals 3.5. It's okay if you put that in a fraction form, but like with the last one, if you're just going to add them, and then divide by 2. All right, next is mode. Mode. This one's pretty self-explanatory. This one is most often. How do we find it? Find the one that happens the most. Really, I should say value. or values that occur most often. And I put values because this is just a side note. I'll put this in a different color. And to emphasize it, there can be more than one. It can be more than one. Alright, so in our instance, what happens most often? Well, 3. So looking at that data set, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 6. What happens most often? Well, that one's pretty self-explanatory to see. 3 happens most often, so our mode is 3. Okay, and looking at this data set, it says let's write my order stuff in order from smallest to largest. So we're going to put these numbers in order first. So this is our first example. I have 11, which is my first number. Then I go to 15. I don't have 12, 13, or 14. Next is 16. Please note it occurs twice. Next is 17. That also occurs twice. Next is 19. Then a 20. And then 22. Alright, so finding the mean. I'm going to show you all the steps for this. So I'm going to go 11 plus 15 plus 16 plus 16 plus 17 plus 17 plus, let's see, 19 plus 20 plus 22. That gives us 153. So when I add these all up, that gives me 153. So in terms of how many values there are now, because I have to divide by the amount of values, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 values. So I'm going to divide that thing by 9. So 153 divided by 9. And that is going to give me a mean. So x bar equals 17. Okay? So that is my average. Now I'm going to figure out my median actually in part A. So median is my middle value. What I'm going to do there is I'm going to start crossing off. So I'm going to use this data set to go down here, but I'm going to do my work up in part A. So start crossing off. And lo and behold, my median is 17. This is actually a good data set when your median and your mean actually match or are very close. Mode. So we're looking for what happens most often. So looking at the data set, I've got 16. But then if you look, I also have 17. So in this instance, I have not one, but 2 modes. So 16 and 17. Okay? So that is how you do that. Hopefully you guys don't have any questions on that. Alright, so moving on, you guys can do examples 2 and 3 on your own. And we're going to go down into range. Okay, so range. So range basically is the span of the data. Span of the data set. And then interquartile range, so we are getting into something new here. Interquartile range is the span from Q1 to Q3. How to find it? Well, what I do here, and this is really simple, I do highest value minus the lowest value. Pretty easy. So in this example, here's my data set here. So the highest value in this is 12. All right. The lowest value here is 2. So basically 12 minus 2, that's going to be 10. All right. The explanation from Q1 with the interquartile range and how to find it. First, this is going to require some explanation. Q1 and Q3, basically the quartiles are basically medians of the lower part of the data and the upper part of the data. So you have your median, and it's going to span that. So I need to basically get into some of these problems. So the IQR, the interquartile range, I don't necessarily like the way this is written out. So I'm not going to do an example. We're going to dump right in the problem. So instead of having F as IQR, what I'm going to have F is our Q1 data. So F is going to be Q1. G is going to be Q3. And then H will now be our IQR. I can't find the IQR without F and G. Okay, so first things first, we are going to do the exact same thing. So my lowest number is 18, and that's going to happen twice. My second lowest number appears to be 22, and that also happens twice. Now I look, the next lowest is 24. That happens. The next is going to be 28. And then after that, it appears to be 37. Then 41. Then 52. And then 62. Okay. So now that we've done that, I can go through and I can find my mean. So I'm going to add up all of those numbers. So I'm going to go 18 plus 18 plus 22 plus 22. And then I'm going to add 24 in. And I'm just doing this right underneath this so you guys can see. That's a little bit not very neat. So I'm going to do that. 37 plus 41 plus 52 plus 62. Okay. 20 plus 37 plus 41 plus 52 plus 62. Okay, so what that is going to do is that is going to equal, that equals 324. All right, so 324, I'm going to divide that by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 324 divided by 10. So that is going to give me a mean of 32.4. So my X bar is going to equal 32.4. The median, again, I'm going to use the values from up here to find it. I'll go in. And there are 2 left in the middle. As you can see, I have 4 left crossed off on this, 4 crossed off on that. So I have 2 in the middle there. So I'm going to go 24 plus 28 over 2. So that is going to give me 26. So that's going to be 26. The mode. I have two again. I have 18 and 22. Because as you can see, they both happen there twice. Okay, so now let's get into the range. The range is going to be 62, which is the highest, minus 18. So that's just pretty simple. So 62 minus 18, and that is going to equal 44. All right. So if you wonder where I got that from, 62, 18, we're good to go. All right, Q1. So here's the deal with the quartiles. So what they are is you have the Q1 measures the median of the data sets from the directions. So I have a median of a value set from here because I made my medians in between. My median is 26, so these two are separated out. So Q1 is the median of over here, and Q3 would be the median of over here. So now, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each side of the line. So this is going to be pretty simple to do. So I'm going to go here, here, so I'm including that, here, here, and my Q1 is now 22. So that's my Q1. So that equals 22. My Q3, I'm going to go with round. Okay. Boom, 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 and that is right here. So that is right here. Q3 is 41. I actually almost put it right in the right spot. So Q3 is equal to 41. Now my IQR is the range of these two. So basically it is Q3 minus Q1. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 41 minus 22, which that is going to equal 19. Okay, so that is how you do that. Hopefully that works out. So how do I find it? I go Q1 or Q3 minus Q1. An example up there, don't really need it, but we had to go through all this other stuff. Hopefully you guys can find this on the rest of this sheet. So, anyways.